So how many people are on here?
So right now we're a little early. Well, actually only a minute early, but we're at right at 27. But I think
Great. Hey guys.
for the entire conference, we've had people popping in and out, and we
Yeah.
do plan on sharing this via our Connect platform as exclusive content for everyone. So make sure to
Nice.
join that. If anyone who couldn't make it today or yesterday, that's where you'll be able to find everything. It'll be on the Connect platform. So thank you, Jesse, for joining us. I know we almost didn't get you, but somehow managed.
I'm here
Managed.
now.
Yeah, you're here now, and that's all that matters.
It's exciting stuff.
So we really appreciate it. I know Jesse, from social media. He's one of the first guys I looked at on YouTube just to see how he was moving, how he was structuring his business, things like that. And I have always drawn inspiration and knowledge from Jesse and his content. So it's really exciting to have him on. For anyone who doesn't know Jesse, he is the owner of J-Lane Construction and also a social media influencer, content creator, and all kinds of things. But I will let you introduce yourself, Jesse. So
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm Jesse Lane, J-Lane Construction. Started the business about 8 years ago. I've been an entrepreneur for 15 plus years. With like my first business was a lawn mowing business, but then I kind of got into the construction thing when I was about 15 years old or so, and just really kind of, took it from there, learning everything I could, saying yes to life, saying yes to, learning framing or drywall or just like building a house, remodeling a house to start. Anything I could possibly do to get my hands dirty when I was a kid. So, but I won't bore you, with the tell me your life story kind of stuff, because I think we really kind of want to get into some cool content as far as like how you can start, your general contracting company. And so, but just to kind of touch on where I am now, doing about 15 million a year here in Jacksonville, Florida. We're the number one rated general contractor last couple of years in a row in Jacksonville, and about over 1 million views or so on the YouTube channel. This current YouTube channel. I used to do guitar lessons, but that's a whole separate thing. So I started this whole general contracting entrepreneurship. You can find me on YouTube, Jesse Lane, just Jesse. There's no I. Lane like a street, Lane. So it's exciting. The social media thing really allows me to, give my knowledge to the world. Everything that I've picked up thus far, it's like really exciting. So to see people latching onto that, like some of my most popular videos are how to get your contractor's license in Florida, how to estimate a construction project. And then there's like a spreadsheet that I sell for like $97 with that video. And then that video has a couple 100,000 views. And so, it's cool to see people really latch on to, that content. And yeah. And then I started an NFT project recently called the Suit Club, which is really, really cool. The website is thesuitclub.io, not .com. So, you can learn about that, buy a suit NFT if you can figure it out. And then you can join the Discord, which all the links, both those links are on that website. But yeah, so it's just like an exclusive business club, and it's pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah, and that was another reason why we wanted to have you on as well, because we saw that you are also kind of ahead of your time, jumping on the NFT kind of movement and starting to create something with utility. So really quickly before you start, I know you have something ready for us today, but just really briefly, if you can, explain to everyone who's on now and who will watch this later, what you see the benefit of the NFT project you created will be for them and other tradespeople.
Yeah. And I have a headache pill coming over here because woke up with like a splitting migraine. So hopefully I can get through this. But the NFT project is really, really cool. It's kind of the first in the space. Thank you. It's the first in the space, as far as like a business club. And so it's your access to this business club on Discord. And that's kind of like the main utility. But it also gives you access to my business conference. So it's going to be an in-person conference in Jacksonville, Florida in October. So JesseLaneConsulting.com is a space where you could find out more about that. It's really, really discounted right now. It's like $397 versus $797 right now, which probably will go up in like March 1st kind of thing. But if you have an NFT, which is like 0.08 Ethereum, which is like less than a couple $100 right now, it's like super cheap, you can come to the business conference. So there's a whole nother layer of utility if you purchase a golden suit. One second.
And thanks for joining in, even with a migraine. My partner actually suffers from migraines as well, and I know they're not easy to manage, so I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. So the golden suit utility, there's only 100 golden suits, and they actually give the owner like a potential fly out. I'm flying someone out from Arizona who bought a golden suit a couple weeks ago. We're gonna get him like full. It's like coming to Chuck E. Cheese, coming to Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. He bought the golden ticket. So that's super exciting to have that happening. Just to see FaceTimes with me, the golden suit lounge within Discord, so much more lifetime event access to all my events. So there's much more utility even further coming that people are going to see in the project.
That's amazing. I'm excited to see more updates on that as you start rolling that out. But I would love to get you started with, the topic at hand, because we do have more people coming in, and this is a topic that we speak about all the time here at Upstryve. It's something that one of the main things we focus on is how to get started in as a contractor or really any tradesperson. Just what are some of the higher level things you need to be thinking about? So whenever you're ready.
Yeah. And so hopefully I can get through it again with the headache. It's pretty splitting, but I will do my best here. So long story short, speaking of headache, you want to focus on your mind. You want to focus on your mindset and really what the thoughts you're thinking. And so I think that can be pretty cliche, pretty obvious to a lot, but your actions do start with your thoughts. And before your thoughts comes your programming. So what did your parents tell you? What did your teachers tell you? What are the things that you're listening to on a day-to-day basis, even as an adult? Those are how you program yourself into the thoughts that you're thinking. And then those thoughts lead to feelings that you have, and those feelings that you're having lead to your actions, right? And then whatever actions you're taking lead to your results in life. So you really want to focus a majority of your effort on mindset, and really like one aspect of mindset is developing systems. So like I focused a lot of my time on developing systems for my business, so my people know what to do without my presence. That's kind of the main goal as an entrepreneur. If you want to be an entrepreneur, you have to know you're an entrepreneur at the core, right? So if you can't handle the pressure, if you can't handle the responsibility, the risk, if you're not a natural risk taker, because really every day you wake up and you take risk. If you hire an estimator to estimate projects for you, that's a risk, that they're going to do it right. Any employee you hire is a risk to make sure that they're going to do it right. And you're never going to find a 1 to 10 scale. If 10 is yourself, you're never going to find it. I shoot for 6s and 7s, and that's something that Gary Vee has said. I shoot for those 6s and 7s. Sometimes you find those 7.5s, those 8s, which is awesome. And I have a few of those in my business now. It's really exciting. But there's always going to be that gap of nothing's going to get done perfectly. There's going to be that aspect of it. So, but who's our audience today? I mean, I see a list of names like Alex Garcia and Amy and Andrew and Angel and Austin and all these people. We got 27 people, it looks like. Are they able to type anywhere that I'm able to see?
Yeah, so anyone who's on the call right now, it looks like we're at 30. Oh, I guess that 30. Includes the panelists, but anyone who's on the call, just if there's interaction, you'll see it on the comments. If you have any questions for Jesse throughout the call, you could put that into the Q&A, and we will get to those towards the end of what Jesse has to say. But just general communication could be done through the chat.
I see. So. We got Rusty, general contractor, Houston. Perfect. I appreciate that. So A lot of these guys are probably already general contractors, but just real quick, like if you're not and you're looking to upstart a business, or if maybe you can pick up a couple gaps here, is you want to obviously get a separate business checking account, which I don't want to lose people here, because if you're already a GC, it's like, come on, this is really, really basic. But, choose a solid business name, get the bank set up, get the LLC set up. I'm just going to skim through this. Read the book by Garrett Sutton, how to get your right business entity, solid, and then you can pick S Corp, C Corp, LLC, pick which. I'm personally an LLC. Okay, Troy, general contractor, Minnesota, cool. So accounting, let's touch on accounting. I use QuickBooks Online because I use Buildertrend for my project management. And so the QuickBooks Online syncs really seamlessly with Buildertrend. Now it actually talks back and forth. It didn't always used to do that, because I was actually, residential contractor, Jordan, South Carolina. I was with Buildertrend since they started, pretty much. So it was really basic. And so now it's a lot more robust. Like really anybody has the opportunity to grow their business with like a platform that really, really can take them far, because I think anyone can do it. Like we have our phones, we have all these apps like just at our fingertips. And so QuickBooks talks back and forth. Anything, web-based will work. I mean, I know there's, Procore and all these different other things, but Buildertrend for me has been really beneficial, and I am a commercial general contractor, not a home builder. And so it was originally LLC versus S Corp. That's a question. Yeah, I mean, that's a CPA question. That's not a Jesse Lane question. Ask your CPA why you would specifically do an LLC, but a limited liability company versus a C Corp or S Corp. But so yeah, QuickBooks, I'll just breeze past accounting, but QuickBooks pulls the transactions automatically, because a lot of these things, like you hire a whole staff to like manually type in all these transactions versus just, it all just seamlessly syncs, and versus manually putting it in. Okay, yeah, some tips for people in school who want to become a GC and developer. Yeah, I'll get to that. I'm going to get to that. So let's touch on licensure. Okay, so depending on like if you're a drywall guy, a framing guy, you do concrete, etc. Each state, each county is going to have kind of a separate requirements and everything. But
we are getting a little bit of feedback on your microphone. I don't know if it's rubbing or.
Okay. Maybe it was the paper on there. Can you hear me a little bit better now?
It could have been the paper. Yeah.
All right, just let me know.
That's what it was.
So obviously, just make sure you're licensed in where you want to go. It's kind of pretty basic and obvious, but call the local building department. And sometimes, even for me, St. Johns County, you need a framing license or anything like that. Even for like tile work or drywall work, they require some sort of licensure for that. But in Duval County, Florida, right next to each other, they don't. And so you have to just figure that out. And obviously, if you're going to be a general contractor, then that's super important too, to get that general contractor's license. So obviously insurance, this is just kind of like how to get your business started kind of stuff. I'm going to breeze past this so we can get to more mindset stuff and like bigger picture stuff, but and actually growing your business in a minute. But general liability policy, obviously, and if you're going to work as a subcontractor to a general contractor, you want to make sure that you add the general as additional insured. And if you're a general, get your subs to add them to your policy as additional insured, so everyone's covered, and you're not taking all of that risk. But get workers' comp for all your employees. You can get an exemption for yourself, but you can't get an exemption for any employees. So just make sure to get that done. Of course, check local regulations and everything like that. But sales and marketing. So this is like getting into how to actually like grow your business and everything. You really want to focus like almost 100% of your efforts on social media and your website. This new digital age is going to be like, your phone is where our people are finding you. It's not necessarily billboards and everything like that. It can be on your jobs. Like, people could be driving around and seeing your stuff. And that happens to me too. But then they get online and they know you before they even call you. They know who you are, what kind of work you do, and everything like that before they even call, because your website is so detailed with client testimonials, all kinds of different aspects of your business. Like, information in a clean way is really the way to do it. It's less about paper, I think, in these days. It's more about how people are reacting to you online. And so I think that's super, super important as far as sales and marketing. You know, if you finish a job, a lot of people don't do this, and it kind of is interesting that they don't. Getting those client testimonial videos, I think, is crucial. It's crucial, you know, and putting those on your website. Okay, question from Mate. Do you self-perform anything? No, I don't. I actually subcontract all of my stuff, and I have about 10 employees, and we're doing about 15 million. And so a few of the larger projects I have a business partner on that he has about 20, 25 employees, but and he has some in-house crews, but I personally don't. And yeah, I think it's kind of less headache to just subcontract everything and just hire. I have a vice president, a senior project manager, and of course project managers, a few of those, and then a bunch of superintendents, then a couple interns that, you know, throw some door hardware on or throw some touch-up paint, like whatever. You know, there's like maybe 5, 7, 10% of the work, no more than 10% typically, that we're kind of doing in-house, self-perform. So going back to this Tyrone question, what's some tips for people still in school, want to become a GC? If you're still in school, you want to become a GC, I mean, school's really not going to teach you how to be a GC. I would focus on your experience. I would focus on actually working for a general contractor. Caesar. Yeah, so I would focus on actually getting that hands-on experience to then, if you want to be a GC, start your own thing, then you'll be much more prepared to do so when you have the experience. Then you can actually, because when you're an entrepreneur, everyone's going to ask you, well, how are we going to do this specific thing? How are we going to do your accounting? You know, how are we going to frame this wall? How are we going to do our sales? How are we going to do our video editing? How are we going to do everything? How are we going to project manage? How do you want the Gantt schedule built? You know, what do you want to do with submittals? Like what's the process? And I'll answer that question. Yeah, tips to finding your first couple projects. I'll speak on that. But like, yeah, it's really important that you understand every single aspect as much as possible before starting a business, but you don't let it hold you back. But if you can start, the first year or 2 or 3 or more are going to be really you kind of running around doing everything, you know, within the business, and you're going to learn a lot. You know, you're going to build the systems, focus on building the systems. Sorry, my headache is really hurting, but you're going to really focus on building those systems for your team. Even if it's just you and one other dude, it's like, why would I sit there and write a Word doc or a Google doc or whatever on stuff like each process? Well, then you have it for the future, and even if you change it in the future, you just can tweak it later. And what I've actually done is I built an internal website using Squarespace. Super simple. I don't hire some website developer. I just sit there from whatever to whatever time at night doing my Squarespace editing. And it's super simple. It's drag and drop. You just make a website, or Wix or whatever, just a basic website editor. And it's just an internal website. You can call it your company name. Like I have jlaneinternal.com. So it's like password protected. But long story short, it has project management, superintendent, accounting, you know, project management, all the different things like within the business that people need to know how to do, how to send pay applications, and you know, all the different things, how to build a schedule, how to set up a job on, you know, in Buildertrend. So it's like screenshots and GIFs and arrows and some videos of me sitting there recording my screen just for like a minute even, or 30 seconds or 20 seconds, be like, bing, 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 bing. This is how you do it, you know, so your phone isn't blowing up. Because I feel like a lot of these older contractors, or not just older ones, but like people who aren't as savvy on technology. There's a lot of old guys that are really savvy on technology, but some of them aren't. But that it's all just like your phone's blowing up, asking questions like, what do I do? Just build an internal website that has every single process, you know, built out. That's been really crucial as far as streamlining. So how to get your first 1 to 5 projects? I would start on Thumbtack, Home Advisor, Angie's List, those kind of websites, and build your online reputation from there, because it's all about your online reputation, you know? And so once you can kind of get those things rolling, get the client testimonial videos, then people are going to kind of come out of the woodworks. You know, if you can get the Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, blah, 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 going, and obviously the website, which your website is linked on all those things, then people really will come out of the woodworks, come out of the blue to ask you to do work for them. Yeah, what are challenges that I face? Well, I have my biggest mistakes. My biggest mistakes is growing too fast when the profits really aren't there. Not knowing the numbers at the core. You know, if you don't know where you're really at, numbers wise, you can't grow your business. Getting too flashy of an office at first. You know, you have to slowly build this thing. And a tip, this is like a hot tip if you're watching and like you know you're trying to figure out an office space and you're just like in the first 3 years, I would recommend a virtual office, which I still have, but I have an additional office where everyone actually is, but this virtual office is just this thing that I've had. My business is registered there. All my calls go there, 904 500 Lane. All the calls just go straight to the office. And it's pretty much a space that multiple businesses can hire, but your mail goes there, your business address is registered there, the calls go there. They field all the calls for the leads and bullcrap calls, you know, like who it says host has stopped my video. Can you still see me?
Yeah, no, I can hear you, but it looks like your video stopped.
It says, okay, start my video.
There we go.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah, so like a virtual office is super important because it really is going to take a lot of burden off your shoulders because you don't want to put your cell phone as your main business number. You want it to be a corporate number, so to speak. Mine's a local 904 500 Lane, but I bought it's like they call it a vanity number. You buy it and you can port it over to them, and so it really takes a lot of burden off of your phone blowing up with all these people like, can you come fix my door, or like whatever, like these little residential things. And so I'm not sure if a lot of people here are commercial. Where can you start a virtual office? You don't really start it. You just type in Google like, hey, virtual office space in my local town. Like, you know, like type in where you're from. And
we could answer the questions at the end if it's easier for you.
It's actually easier for me to answer them right here. I love it.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'm loving it.
I'll leave it up to you then. Yeah,
perfect.
If that's
I like the audience interaction. It's cool. Because so how do you know it's the right time to lunge big? I don't know, lunge forward big. I'll get to that. But the first 1 to 5 projects thing, like I want to talk about how to find clients as a general contractor. Oh, how to lunch big? I don't know what he's talking about. Develop a reputation around your niche. So you have to figure out. The best business advice that I ever got was from a guy named George Headley. This is when I was first starting. I had all this. I was like, I want to be a commercial GC, but I had all this residential stuff on my website still because I started with residential. And he was like, well, you want to be a commercial general contractor. You want to do 50 million a year or more or whatever it is. I'm like, yeah. And he's like, get the residential stuff off the website. You need to be like, I am the commercial general contractor. And that was a huge risk and jump for me to like just rip it off and be like, I don't do residential, you know, at all. And so, but when I did that, my business just doubled every year, you know, and it has doubled or more every single year since I've been open, you know. My first year I did $250,000 or less, like 220 or whatever it was. Like my first year I was like 22 years old. And then I did 560, then I did $750,000 or whatever. Then I did 1.6. Then like COVID hit or whatever. Like I'm just kind of skipping ahead, but COVID I did like 1.8. Like I didn't really grow like whatever that year was. But then beyond double, obviously like I hit like 15 million super fast because I brought on this business partner to help me, you know, take on some larger projects. And so that kind of helped do that. But anyways, so you don't want to grow too fast. You don't want to take on low margin work and get that flashy office. And you want to fire fast enough as far as those mistakes that I made. There's a couple of notes bullet points that I missed. You want to fire fast enough. You want to know when. That's the biggest mistake. One of the biggest I've made is not firing fast enough. So obviously you want to hire correctly up front. But starting new ventures without fully running the numbers, doing full market research with a business plan. You know, I've done let's start a framing business. Like this, when I first started, I was like, let's build a whole branch of the business, like in-house framers. I'm like, someone told me it was a great idea. Like an employee, he's like, I'll run it. Like, this is it. Like, boom, boom, boom. I'm like, all right, like I trust you, like, bro. But I didn't like fully like market research. What's the price per square foot on framing? Like, what are we actually going to get? And we were like getting like way lower, and it just didn't work. And I wasted a lot of money. And so being detailed with that, but as far as finding clients, I know I'm jumping back and forth, but that's just how my brain works. So tough luck. So for me, it was that getting the residential off of the business, off of the website, sorry, so I can actually see where the business is going to be and actually be the number one commercial general contractor. That's like the goal. And we've accomplished the number one general contractor in Jacksonville because these people give us these awards because they see like social media and like a lot of the things that even the people that are probably way better than us, like Haskell and Summit, like these huge like billion-dollar businesses, but they've built their business, but on the back of old technology, it seems like direct relationships and not a lot of social media interaction. I think people are starting to realize that more and more. But so building that website to a gorgeous online magazine, hiring the right people to run your niche projects. Like if you're a commercial GC, don't hire a residential project manager, but if you are residential, build a brand for residential and be like, we're the residential go-to guy, or we're the industrial go-to, like we do Lay's potato chips plants or like whatever it is. Like we're the people you want to talk to if you're doing an industrial warehouse or whatever, so whatever you want to do it. Sorry, but if I'm rustling the mic. So networking with developers, architects, engineers, commercial property managers, brokers, those are the kinds of people that are going to bring you leads, but you can't just go to these people and be like, hey, I'm an upstart guy, and start bringing them to lunch, and then they'd be like, well, show me your track record. If you don't have a track record, you're really not going to go very far. So it's like that the hardest, like the guy asked 1 to 5, what's, jobs, like how do you get your first 1 to 5? Those are going to be your hardest. Your first 15 jobs are going to be difficult to, especially as the jobs get larger and larger, because it's like, well, what job have you done like this before? As like your first $1 million job or whatever it is, it's like, well, have you done $1 million? And you're like, no, I've done a $99,000 job, but like I never even did 100. So you kind of have to stage it. Where it's like, well, the $300,000 job is kind of just like a $500,000 job. It's the same kind of thing. So, and you do that, and you're like, okay, the $550,000 job is kind of like a $750,000. Then you can kind of, that 3/4 is kind of like a step up. So you get the idea. But be the top rated in your area. Be known for being the best. Work your way up from the bottom. Yep. Best way to estimate RS means. We do use RS means actually. Yeah. I don't know what's the right time to lunch big. I have no idea what you're trying to ask there. If you want to rephrase that, but how do I get larger? 20,000 contract.
I think that mic is getting ruffled.
Yeah, sorry. I had a piece of paper on there. How do I get larger contracts? For example, 20,000 contract to the 150. So I did just actually kind of touch on that as far as just step up your staging. Start with a $10,000 job, because anyone can do a $10,000 job. I mean, when I first started before I even started my business, I was selling, $10,000 to $15,000, $20,000 jobs working for the handyman company, which most of those guys were 60 years old. I was like 20, 21, and they were selling, $1,200 jobs, and I was selling some larger stuff, like getting into those larger remodels, So I think you can really, if you can do a good job, you have to know what you're doing, which brings me to the knowledge portion of this whole thing, which just want to find my notes on that. But you have to know what you're doing and how you're going to do it. Like if you're going to frame houses, you have to know every single angle and cut and Pythagorean theorem and all these different things to be the best framer that there is. And if you're going to be a general contractor, you have to have a solid working knowledge across all trades. So that's kind of a thing. Like you can't just be an electrician. You have to know mechanical, electrical, plumbing, roofing, framing, flooring, drywall, painting, concrete, foundations, roofing. You have to know all the things that are involved, structural stuff, how to talk to engineers and architects, how to talk to developers and really get your stuff straight. And aspects beyond construction specific knowledge, as a general contractor, communicating with the city, pulling permits, filing notices of commencement, obtaining lien releases from subs, dealing with the whole lien process, schedule of values, how to build a tight schedule of values, pay applications, commercial pay applications, G702, G703, AIA stuff, AIA contracts. And then there's entrepreneurship skills on top of all that. There's there's kind of a layer, like I was just saying, these electricians and there's mechanical guys and there's framers and plumbers, and they're all business owners, and they have to know everything about plumbing, everything about electrical. But there's this next layer of business owner, but then there's even there's general contractor, above all these different trades, and general contractor has to know all the trades, like I was just saying. But beyond general contractor, there's the entrepreneur, business owner category, where there's this like tiered thing where if you're going to be an entrepreneur, let alone a general contractor, it's very complex. It's a very brain intensive, responsibility intensive business venture, and so a lot of these guys are it takes time to get the bigger contracts. A lot of these guys are probably already general contractors, so they're probably relating with what I'm saying. But I want to hit let's see what could I hit next as far as how to find clients.
Just definitely would love to hit some of the mindset stuff we talked about, kind of.
Yeah, but,
because since you already kind of brought that up, how the different layers, it becomes even more and more complex. So at one point, it goes beyond just your trade knowledge. Now you have to start recruiting different kind of information that maybe not all tradespeople are aware that if they really want to level up, they're going to have to start consuming some different content and different knowledge. So I think that would be super useful.
I want to touch on what 10 plus years of entrepreneurship, really it's 15 years, but 10 plus years of owning, 8 plus years of owning J-Lane, we'll just call it 15 years of entrepreneurship in general, has taught me. When I first started J-Lane, I never would have thought I would have been to this point, 8 years, 15 million. It's really, J-Lane has made a stake in the marketplace in Florida as far as one of the premier and highest rated and, larger on social media type general contractors, especially with the whole NFT thing, it's really fun. Like the Suit Club, if you missed me talking about it before, it's a business club that I started. You have to have an NFT of mine. It's just literally, I was like me in a cartoon, like suit with all these different suit aspects, like star suits, cloud suits, and if you buy a golden suit, you get like all this extra special layer of business stuff, and I'll fly you out to come meet me, and like just really, really cool stuff. It's one Ethereum to buy one of those, but most of the other classic suits are 0.08. All the other classic suits are 0.08. There's 2,400 of those, and then 100 of the golden suits. Anyways, so like I've realized like what all these years of entrepreneurship has taught me is you have to have the vision for the team, and my vision for my company is to be a light in the marketplace and really give back, like supporting missionaries. And like, I'm a Christian man. So like a lot of this really kind of ties back to my relationship with God, and how he's using this business even more. And so that's like my ultimate goal. And I want to like really keep employees happy and fulfilled, and like define what each little employee, wants out of life and wants out of his or her job. And so, but me, for my business, I want to do it different. Using technology to its fullest capacity is a huge thing. But this journey has not been easy. There's a lot of like struggle that it takes to get to this point. And, I started with a lot of small projects, but now we're doing we're 15 million a year. So we're doing a lot of $3 to $8 million jobs kind of thing. But, we do sometimes take on some jobs like $250,000 jobs, or like we really kind of tell people like we're not going to take on anything definitely under $100,000, but for the right client, it really does make sense to, like, there's this $300,000 job for this huge multifamily developer for her, like a flipped house for himself. It's like this, like skim the roof and like do all the structural engineering and like build a whole second story addition for this guy. But I went out and looked at it because he's like the largest, most influential developer in Jacksonville. And so, but now we're just really focusing on the larger projects. And it really does come down to the thoughts that you're thinking and the massive action you take behind those thoughts. So it takes a level of brainstorming, thinking, and you're getting into a personal space of development and thought for you to have those thoughts that are then written down, into notes or whatever. And then you take action on those thoughts, because it comes down to massive action on the right things. You can't just be busy and not making any money. I see a lot of contractors that are just, yes. They say yes to all these jobs at low margin work, but then they're like scrambling and they don't have systems built. So it's like this thing of like, you know what I mean? Then you want to really focus on making amazing content, because I think content is the future as far as getting your name out there and having people trust you before they even call you. And then as far as what entrepreneurship has taught me, realizing that everything does ultimately fall on your lap as the entrepreneur. So that's been a big thing for me to like overcome. But also guarding yourself. There's a brain space that I was just talking about that you have to guard, and people are going to really pull on that, especially as you are posting online. You're getting maybe a little bit more influential in the community or blah, blah, blah. You have to really put a fence up around your brain space, because even people are like, let's hang out or let's this. But if you have something that you got to get done, you have to really guard that brain space. And that's another aspect of that, is delegating the small things. I don't grocery shop. I don't mow my own lawn, or I don't do all these like little piddly things that are low hanging fruit that anybody could go pull off the tree of low hanging fruit. You really, like, there's apps, just get Publix in Florida, Publix delivery, like whatever, like you can figure out these ways to do that. And then obviously with the employees that you hire, you can have interns do a lot of these little small things for you that, look, it might not get done 100% how you would have done it, but you have to get 100% perfect, the big visionary stuff. If this ship is going to be crashing, metaphorically, then you have to get your hand on the wheel and focus on that, not picking out your peanut butter at the grocery store. So focusing.
Yeah, I heard something today actually, that we all have alarms on, for our house. We have an alarm for our car because we love it. So we need to kind of build in this alarm for our focus. Yeah. Like anytime someone tries to disrupt our focus, we need to set off an alarm like, hey, something's happening. You're coming in on my focus. So I like that.
Exactly. So always guarding yourself, always focusing on self-improvement, self-development. Again, getting back to those, focusing on the systems and actually building them, spending the time doing that. If you're not doing your grocery shopping and everything like that, then you can really actually focus on building those systems. And then the whole point is to then let other people run your business using those systems. And you're not just building systems to build systems, you're building systems to have people run your business using those systems. And so, thank you. Long story short, life can be limitless depending on how large you think and how much massive action you take. So, that's ultimately what it comes down to. Thinking larger thoughts and then taking action accordingly. So,
yeah, absolutely agree. I mean, that's been a common denominator for every single talk we've had in this conference. It's all been about thinking larger than you've ever thought before, but also mapping it out, having a plan,
right.
Coming up with different systems and figuring out how to optimize your own greatness and what you're good at, and finding others to help you along the way. So because nothing could be done alone, right? Nothing great could be done alone. You have a team that help you with your systems and help you drive your business to where it got today. Who were some of your earlier mentors or people who guided you on that right path?
Yeah, I mean, so like George Headley is one of them. He has like this hard hat biz school, and I've tried, like, I went to a Tony Robbins event and like stuff like that, but I don't know. I didn't really like it. I got more out of the construction specific people. It was like Todd DeWalt. I went to his business conference. It was funny because like he came up to me. I went up to him afterwards. I'm like, hey man, like, nice to meet you and all these things. And he was like, nice to meet you too. You look so familiar, This is like somewhere in Kentucky. And I'm like, what? And then I had his number. So he texted me like the next day. He's like, he sent me a YouTube link and he's like, I've watched your YouTube video. That's where I knew you. I was like, it was so funny. Cause he had seen it like years ago and it was like, you look so familiar. But, yeah. So, but guys I watch on YouTube are like Grant Cardone, like, cause I love real estate, Gary V, like all these people, Ryan Serhant, Dan Locke, LOK. He's like this, like, he's an Asian guy and he talks about like high ticket sales and like mindset, all these different things. So anyone that really talks about like real estate, construction, and there's not a lot of construction guys, you know. I mean, I'm doing it.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, there's not a lot of construction guys. There's a lot of real estate kind of guys, but mostly just like business guys in general on YouTube. But the cool thing about that concept, this concept of watching other people, is my parents, like my dad starting his business, my grandfather starting his business, didn't have what we have. They just had maybe some books, I mean, and the people they talked to, or they had to like fly out to like an event or whatever it is. Or my grandfather probably just like the people that, or even my great grandfather, like who knows, I don't know how long a plane's been around, but like, and you know, but like just the people that are in their local sphere, is like, that's their grid, that's their mindset. But like now we have these people, I can watch how they interact with employees, like these 200 million, like Gary has like a $200 or $100 million plus dollar, 300 million probably now with his VFriends NFT project. But I think he's made $90 million in the last like bunch of months, like just on his
that's what I was gonna say. He made 90 million on the launch, which is crazy.
Right now it's like trading and he gets 10% on every trade. So it's like, you know. So anyways, getting your mind right, like if you're not going to go out and play games with like your friends, or please don't play video games by yourself. Like there's so like if you want, I mean, go for it. But if you want to be a business owner, you can't play video games or watch Netflix, binge watch shows. It just doesn't work the first 5 years. You know what I mean? You just won't be successful. So do that and work for someone else, or start a business and dedicate your brain space, you know? So,
and here's a good question that ties into that from Tyrone. What are some things you would have done differently starting your business?
That's a good question, man. I mean, I am ultimately happy with where it's at now. You know, hiring is a big deal because I had this one employee that was like a superintendent, and everything that he did, I had to watch him and micromanage. And I hate to micromanage, but I had to, because it had to get done right, because I didn't have a name for myself. I didn't have anything. So now, you know, there's still struggles. Like, yeah, even this morning I woke up to struggles where I'm trying to macro manage, and it's like employees are like, we need you to like be more involved in this now. I'm like that's ultimately not the goal. I'll firefight for a second, but like, you guys have to pick this up, and then bing, 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 bing. Here's how to do it in the future, like in this scenario or whatever. So it's a constant kind of like, you can never just leave it. You always have to kind of keep looking back and fixing stuff or making it better or tweaking. So, but like, yeah, I don't think I have an answer for that right off the top of my head as far as what I would have done differently. Yeah, I don't. Well, I probably would have.
Well, you did give
hired better.
You gave some good points. Yeah, you gave some good points. Hired better. Yeah. Not waste money on unnecessary space or tools or anything. Yeah, I already said, insert unnecessary things.
Yeah, everything I already said. Yeah.
Time management, right? You talked a lot about guarding your focus. So Tyrone, those are probably some of the things you want to take away from that.
Yeah, I think those are main key point takeaways, is all those things. Focus on your brain space. And remember, PTFAR. PTFAR. Programming leads to your thoughts, which leads to your feelings, which leads to your actions, which leads to your results. And so it all starts generally with your thoughts, but obviously like thoughts come from your programming. So don't watch like dumb shows and like, you know, because those are the thoughts you're going to be thinking, you know. Don't listen, be respectful to like parents and teachers or whatever, but don't internally like, oh, like let it like rock your world if it's not correct, if it's not what your passion is. Like, you have to know for yourself what your passion is, you know.
You want to guard your energy. You don't want to give things that aren't helping you advance too much energy, because you know, we all have a tank of gas for energy, and we don't want to be wasting that on unnecessary thoughts or emotions. So that's great advice.
The book I called earlier, I didn't write down the name. It's sitting right here in the shelf. I could probably go find it, but I think it's like How to Start Your Own Corporation or something like that by Garrett Sutton. you could Google Garrett Sutton, something about how to start your own corporation. And I think that's what it's called. And then future for Jay Lane. Yeah, so it's just going to keep getting bigger, hopefully. Like now I have a vice president, paying him bigly, so to speak.
Bigly.
Yeah. And so, and a senior project manager. And I'm really hoping that who has COVID right now. But anyways, really hoping that these guys can take the vision that I've built and get it from 15 to 30, from 30 to, 50, from 50 to 100, kind of maybe 75 in between there. But, I don't need to go too crazy as far as like stressing myself out, because it can be really exhausting, honestly. Like just like a real moment, like the last 8 years have taken a lot out of me, and so you guys probably know this, the watchers. I don't know what lifestyle inflation is, but
lifestyle inflation is when you start making more money and then you start living above your means.
Oh yeah, I'll get to that. But like going back to me being exhausted, like managing your brain space. I already said all that so many times, so I'm not going to keep banging it in. But you really have to go get massages, and like there's like the balance of delegating the small tasks and like doing all the big stuff. But then there's like, if you're not doing then at the end of the day, like grocery shopping and all the small stuff, then you can go get a massage and like really guard yourself as far as like your health, because I think that's really important. I've struggled with that, and I can see its effects, and I'm trying to step back. And so systems are key and blah, blah, blah. So that's all saying that. Okay. I do 90%. This is Rusty. I do 90% of the work myself. Wow. As far as like project management and stuff, ultimately I want to hire people. And can everyone see these questions or just us?
Just us, but
okay.
I usually read them out.
I'll read it, yeah. Ultimately, I want to hire people and do more managing. That's good. How do you find the right people? Good question. People want to get paid as much as me, and that's impossible. How would you navigate this challenge? That's a really good question. So, Rusty, when you say 90% of the work yourself, obviously, I hope you're not slinging drywall, but I don't know, maybe you could clarify that. But if you're doing like all the, accounting, project management, like superintendent potentially, estimating, sales, marketing, stuff like that. I mean, I did that. I don't know what year you're at as far as your business, but I did it for myself for at least the first 4 years. Like literally did everything. I had an employee or two here and there, and I was always cycling through the right people. It was cycling through the wrong people actually to, try to find the right one. And to be honest, like you probably won't find the right people your first 3 to 5 years, because those people that you're paying like 40, 50 grand a year, whatever it is, like probably won't be with you and from 5 to 10 years in your business life. He's slinging drywall, taping, floating, tile, painting, showers, everything, consultations and estimating as well. Yeah, dude, we've all been there. That's pretty intense. I mean, you have to read The E-Myth by Michael E. Gerber. I don't know if you want to put that somewhere, Caesar, but the letter
A great book. I have that book.
Yeah, you got to read The E-Myth, like the letter E, then myth, M-Y-T-H.
Fraction's another one as well that talks about systems. But
yeah. There's a lot of systems book. Yeah, amazing book, Angel. Dude, it rocked my world. Sarah and Sarah's Pies, and how
Sarah's Pies.
Yeah, I'll never forget it. How Sarah, how Michael would consult with Sarah and help her realize that it has to be like a hotel that Michael was at in the book, the operations manual, which is everything I've been preaching on this whole call.
Yes.
It's like people have to know. You can't just be like, oh, I'm going to hire an accountant so I can make the pies. It's like, well, the accountant doesn't know. Like, they're typing away, but they're doing it all wrong. And she just turned her head for like 4 months, and it's like totally screwed up and like, so you have to, But going back to this people question, I use Indeed, I use ZipRecruiter and stuff, but most of my people that are amazing, my vice president, my senior project manager, best superintendent, a recruiter. I've paid a recruiter like a big percentage. Most recruiters charge 25, 30%. Less than 20% is unheard of. This guy had reached out to me and he's like doing it for like 10%, which is pretty crazy, but it's still like on $100,000 salary, that's 10 grand, you know what I'm saying? And I'm paying these guys more. So it's like, just to give you perspective of like how much I'm willing to pay for the right people. And so Yeah, and building a construction knowledge test is something I've done to interview, I should say. And it really weeds out a lot of people before we even bring them in, because we just do a video call with them, like this. I'm like, all right, go to this quiz that I built on our website and then just like answer these questions. Like if they don't know what a truss is, or like when framing inspection comes regarding MEP rough inspections, in relation to, then like obviously it's after, because like you're like drilling through the studs, you gotta like have your framing inspection after. But anyway, a lot of people don't know stuff like that, and like what's an air handler, like there's like they're like, okay, but commercial, what's an RTU, rooftop unit? Like they have, I kind of pull on like their knowledge, and then we get into the more like socially emotionally intelligent questions, as well within the interview, and then you can kind of find the right people there. But that's the trick of entrepreneurship.
And real quick, I want to jump in and just announce the 10th winner while we're still in the hour for our giveaways. This has been an incredible talk. Jesse, thank you so much. We're going to still get back to all these questions, but I do want to get to this giveaway because it's actually a really nice one as well. Thank you to Ox Tools for putting this together and helping us give all these tools away for free, just for your participation and coming and listening to amazing people like Jesse Lane. I mean, it's the easiest tools you'll ever get, pretty much. Come listen to an amazing person and get free tools. Can't beat that.
That's awesome.
So this is the prize for the winner of the 10th giveaway, which is Trevor Kelly. Trevor, you just won a nylon storage bag, plastic mud pan, and taping knife. So there you go, Trevor.
He should be winning like system building stuff, not, hey, go out and sling mud.
So
I'm just kidding.
Give
it to your guys, Trevor.
Those are going to be the prizes at the Jesse Lane conference. You're just going to be giving out the E-Myth.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Yeah, really, Robert Kiyosaki has rocked my world. I don't know if you're done.
No, we're good.
Yeah, Robert Kiyosaki. Michael Gerber at the E-Myth rocked my world, but then I got into Robert Kiyosaki with the cash flow quadrant, understanding E, S, B, and I, the employee, self-employed, the business owner.
I just saw that. Literally 5 minutes before this call, I was watching a video about Grant Cardone talking about that.
Yeah, exactly. I had dinner with Grant Cardone a couple of months ago in Miami, and it was really cool. By the way,
that's so awesome.
Yeah, the undercover billionaire. We were talking about all that stuff, and it was all like real. By the way, like I thought, if you've seen this show, I thought like maybe he was like playing with like some of the guys, but no, he wasn't. Anything behind the scenes. Anyways, so he's like, Jesse, you need to be at 1,000 units because I only have like 15, 14 doors right now, like properties. And anyway, but yeah, that was really encouraging. But Robert Kiyosaki rocked my world with the cash flow quadrant. So like, if you're you have to know where money comes from and where you stand as far as your mindset within. This is the quadrant, so it's E, S, B, and I. So employee, if you pay a lot of taxes, you get a W-2, and you work for someone else and they tell you what to do, and you 9 to 5, and you have, if that's who you are, then good, because we need employees as business owners. Obviously, like we need those people. And I would say like 90% of people are in this quadrant, and then there's the S, where there's like doctors. This is self-employed. S stands for self-employed or small business, but doctors, lawyers, real estate agents, like people who, if they don't show up, the business won't run without them. A surgeon, it's like, they're the guy, like they can't like build a internal website and delegate that, it's like, B, when you get over to the other side of the quadrant, the B and the I, it's business owner or big business, like Robert Kiyosaki says, and it's OPT, other people's time, right? And the I is investor, so it's OPM, other people's money, but the business owner hires people and builds systems. As an entrepreneur, you focus 100% of your stuff on systems and business building, so people can run it for you. Then your I is where people work for you, but I is where money works for you. The rich don't work for money. You know what I'm saying? That's the biggest Robert Kiyosaki quote. Money works for them. So
exactly.
Yeah, that's
what he's all about.
That's the whole thing is money making. Figuring out how to make money work for you, where you send your dollars out every single day, every single month, and they come back with babies. You know what I mean? And friends. That's what.
Yeah, friends.
Another thing.
Hopefully bigger friends.
Bigger friends, yeah, a number of friends. So that's kind of like the aspect behind that. But yeah, How to Retire Rich, Retire Young by Robert Kiyosaki. Obviously, Rich Dad Poor Dad. That was the 1st book I read. The Cash Flow Quadrant was the one I was just talking about. It completely altered my mindset. I was crying at the end of How to Retire Rich and Retire Young because I just saw a lot of everything Robert says is like inside of my gut. I just didn't even know how to say it before I read all his books, and it just kind of sorry, Kevin, non-competes. I have done that sometimes, but yes, I should, and I should just say that I do. But like honestly, like no, I haven't done like non-disclosures and non-competes and like all these things. Like there's a level of trust and a level of like good people that I hire, you know. And so and lifestyle inflation, like I don't know, I bought a $50,000 Porsche, which is a $250,000 car, but that just as of recently, you know, got a really great deal. Like I needed a car, and I'm like, well, why don't I get like a classy car? I didn't buy like a Ferrari or anything. Like it's really stupid if you start spending your money when you could hire a vice president for that amount of money, which is what I did. So I'd rather have a Ferrari vice president than an actual Ferrari.
Right.
Yeah.
And actually, another thing, Kevin, is Jesse mentioning you have 15 units, right? A lot of people talk about don't buy the thing you want first, buy something else that will pay for the thing you want.
That's it.
And so
out of passive income.
With you.
Yep.
Exactly. So essentially your 15 units, we'll call it, paid for that car. So that's how people guard, generally speaking, that's how people guard themselves from lifestyle inflation. When you see these guys with cars and jets, the smarter ones, technically they're not using their active income, meaning the stuff that they have to go out and work for. They don't use that money to buy their cars, houses, planes. They use the money that comes from their real estate ventures, their businesses, other means of income, pays indirectly for those things. So
that's it.
That's how Jesse's doing it as well.
That's it. And I really I'm going to be sharing a lot of these things in the Suit Club. I'd really recommend everyone here, like go buy an NFT. If you can just Google how to buy an NFT, go to thesuitclub.io. I don't know if, can I just type that in this little message?
Yeah. Type it into the chat.
Thesuitclub.io. There's going to be tons of value that I provide within that Discord group. Discord's a little tricky when you first start, but if you can just like open your mind up and watch a couple videos, like how do I use Discord? There's channels on the left side that you can click into. There's like there's construction, there's real estate, there's crypto and NFTs. There's like a general chat. These are the different chats within the Suit Club that you'll see. When you join the lobby, you can't see most of everything because you don't have a suit NFT. So if you can figure out how to buy Ethereum, you have to have Ethereum, which is super cheap right now. Then you have to get a MetaMask wallet and move the Ethereum into that wallet. So I would buy my Ethereum on like Coinbase Pro. And this is something not just like to promote myself. This is something to help you because metaverse, NFTs, crypto, it's all the future. So this is actually like me trying to help you not just buy into my project, which I would love to have you part of this, the club, but like buy NFTs in the future. But if you can get your Ethereum moved over from like Coinbase or whatever platform you use to buy it, put it into your MetaMask wallet, right? Which is you copy the ID and you just transfer it over. Then you can get the Chrome extension. Make sure you use, I like Google Chrome. It's like so much easier. And you download the MetaMask Chrome extension. I feel like some people might be like, this is too complex. All right, I'm out. Like I'm just going to turn my brain off. Like I'm not going to be able to figure this out. It's only 3 steps. And I've said the first 2. So it's actually very simple. To get the MetaMask Chrome extension, you just Google MetaMask Chrome extension. Once your Ethereum's in there, then you just go to OpenSea.io, and these links are all in the Suit Club as far as the OpenSea link. OpenSea is just an NFT marketplace. This is the 3rd step. You just click Buy Now on an NFT, and if your MetaMask Chrome extension is linked up, then it'll take the Ethereum out of that wallet, and you'll have the NFT. And then you can go join the Discord, which is like the best part. So it's like everyone, I'm trying to get more people in there, but a lot of people don't understand it. But getting people into the Suit Club, I'm going to be in there like exclusive content. Obviously, you can then come to my conference completely free once you buy the NFT. So, but thank you, Jesse. Next month for sure, I'll do my last test. Nice for GC with these webinars, Upstryve, give them motivation. I love it. And so I get a lot of those kind of comments on my YouTube channel as well. Kevin, for others to understand, what promise do you make to stay consistent within your NFT group? Okay, that's a good question. As you know, scamming is very usual with NFTs. Yep. How do you promise NFT holders you won't run away or just lose interest? Yeah, fantastic question. I mean, this is a long-term play for me. A lot of projects are pump and dump. So it's like, this is not a hype project, you know? A lot of projects, like I bought into Fat Ape Club and Cheeky Lions and Dirty Dogs and like all these different like NFTs are like these animals that are just like, oh, we had this roadmap and we had this huge like idea and it's all these different things. But it's like, at the end of the day, it just completely kind of crashes because it's like, well, what's the point? But VFriends, I bought a passionate parrot for 1 Ethereum, like whatever, 6 months ago. People are offering me $70,000 for that NFT. And I'm not selling it because I want to go to VCon, because you can only get into his conference with one of his NFTs. Great information. Yeah, that's awesome. I appreciate it, Andrew. You can only get into Gary's conference with an NFT. So for me,
you get that for 3 years, I think,
for
as
3
a
years.
VFriends holder.
That's it. Yeah. So why would I want to sell? I mean, 70 grand, like, I don't know, I could do a construction project and make, or flip a house and make that. But like, it's pretty cool to see his value. I should have put all my money in that project. You know, if I would have had it to do over, I would have put like $250,000 in that thing and then sold, you know, eight of them out of the 10 or whatever. Anyway, but yeah. So that's. Does anyone have? What are some resources to find codes for residential remodeling books? I don't know, man. Just get your code book out. I would focus less on books. I would focus more online. You know, even talk to inspectors. Inspectors know. Yeah, I mean that's a general question there.
Yeah. I mean, going back real quick to the NFT project. And one of the, like I mentioned earlier, one of the main reasons we wanted you on was because we also announced that we were going to put out an NFT project, and we're still working on that concept because, like you said, a lot of these things are pump and dumps. People don't really, they're more jumping on the hype train. But one thing I saw the other day from another creator that I follow is his goal, which is essentially what we want to do as well, is make it so valuable that it doesn't matter what the price is, people won't want to sell it, whether it's up or down, because the access that you provide through the NFT is far greater than any kind of dollar value you could attach to it. So kind of like you mentioned with VFriends, even though someone's offering you 70 grand for your, you know, that'd be a great flip. That'd be an incredible ROI. You're like, well, I want to go to VCon, so it's not even worth it. You know, so it's almost like it's not even
Logan Paul, Mila Kunis, like all these people are going to be at VCon, and it's like that's what makes it so cool. But Kevin, what are some of those long-term plans? I assume the NFT project, but like I'm already flying someone out. The first golden suit owner, Mike, he purchased a golden suit, and I'm flying him out from Arizona, my dime. He's going to come to Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. You know, I'm going to really try to make it super special for him. And so, but there's a bi-monthly mastermind call for all the golden suit holders, you know, and it's me and a bunch of really, you know, high level commercial general contractors or any other general contractor. It could be, you know, electricians and stuff too or whatever. But there's really a lot of like golden suit stuff. But also if you only buy a classic suit for like the 0.08 Ethereum, there's so much to go into it with. It's like buying stock in Jesse Lane, my project, or buying stock if someone else has a project for themselves. But this is like kind of what this project is, where they could really potentially go up in value. Like Jesse Lane's first NFT project, the Suit Club, like 8 years from now or 4 years, like who knows? Like it could be really, really cool. Why not make a bundle with your Airbnbs for the conference? Oh, yeah.
I think he's saying
that's cool. Yeah.
Host everyone at your Airbnbs.
Yeah. Well, they're making enough money. I got last month on my 10plex, I brought in about $31,000 on the Airbnb.
Oh, wow.
And that's in the slow month. That was December income. Then you have to pay cleaning.
Yeah.
But so I brought
and it's a 10plex. All 1 year. Is it like an apartment building?
It's a little apartment building. It's actually an 8plex and a duplex on the same lot, but
Oh,
I have a
wow.
YouTube video all about that. It's how I make $35,000 a month on my 10plex. It's like my YouTube video, Jesse Lane, on YouTube. But it breaks down every detail. But yeah, out of that 31,000 or whatever for like December, which is a slow month, in February to August are the Airbnb hot months. I brought in about 22,000, like net. So NOI is like 22 grand. So I'm waiting on the appraisal, hopefully after 12 months of stabilization, to come in really, really high.
And on that real quick,
Mhm.
so it's funny you mentioned that. I have one Airbnb, compared to your 10, it sounds like nothing, but I do have one. And what you just mentioned is interesting. With the appraisal, you have to wait 12 months for it. Okay.
Yep. On a now I don't know. I don't think single family is like that, because I was just talking.
Oh, it has to be bigger.
Yeah, on multifamily, so
Got it.
not fourplex, but 5 units and up.
5 and up, yep.
Would be multifamily, and the appraisers and the banks value it differently. So what they did, I have like $1.6 million like into this like deal, and they appraised it at, any guesses? I'll just say it, $990,000. I'm like, oh gosh, like I'm in the hole. Like I have so much money
Yeah.
tied up. Like it has all my cash. But I talked to my lender, and he's like, hey, I had to refinance. So I refinanced just to get another bridge loan through the next 12 months. But I already have 3 months in the bag. So hopefully after another, like just say 9-10 months from now, I hope to get into a really long-term debt structure with like a big bank that will appraise it based off the income. After 12 months, it's considered stabilized, and they look at the income, not market rent, long-term income. Because if I would have had long-term leases, it would have been a different situation. But
Yeah. That's what got me too, actually. I just went through the same process, like trying to refinance and stuff, and they wouldn't take the income that the Airbnb was bringing in, which was like 4 times the market rent, and I was just crushed.
gosh, yeah, yeah. So, but long-term, like the Suit Club, long-term plans is just the community behind the Discord is like the major thing. But it really is going to offer more and more. And I have like all these notes about utility to bring. It's just going to keep bringing utility. Of course, the conference that I'm throwing, like you can come for, if you have the Suit Club, you can come for free. Free meaning you have to buy the Suit Club. But there's going to be so many like priority chats, and of course the Golden Suit is next level. But business funding for like people, like if you like the classic suit people as well, like they can have a like a business idea channel, and we can maybe in the future, I'm trying to figure out a utility where people can maybe pitch in, or I'll pitch in, depending on how well the Suit Club sales go, to certain people's business ideas, like once a quarter or like something like that. So
Like
just
a Shark Tank.
like a Shark Tank thing, like yeah, like so it's kind of a cool, like I'm trying to build a really exclusive group of people that are high level thinking, that are future thinking, that if you can buy this NFT, figure out how to do that. Not just like, okay, I'll throw a couple $100. Like, no, I'm going to throw like a couple $100 worth of Ethereum with my MetaMask wallet that I buy in OpenSea. It's like, if you can figure that out, then you're a pretty cool person, and I want to talk to you,
Yeah.
So
It's really not too complicated. It takes
really
a
not.
few minutes.
have you bought an NFT before?
No, but we're working on creating ours. So
Okay.
I will be buying some along the way.
Yeah, you should. Yeah. So anyways, a lot of really cool ideas. I probably shouldn't share too many of them now, because I want to make sure that they make sense. But it's not a hype project. It's not necessarily a flip project. It's more of a long-term buy and hold, if you want to buy a couple of them, or just buy one and be a part of the club.
Yeah, right now I'm in the process of like doing my research, right? The one thing that everyone says with these NFTs is like study the projects, try to get on the white list, make sure you check out the Twitter. So make sure you follow Jesse on Twitter and all the other social media pages.
I'm more of an Instagram. I'm not really on Twitter at all. Instagram is
Okay.
at Jesse Lane TV. I'll just put that in the chat. But I do a lot of like stories, like hey, like Instagram stories and reels and different things like that. Jesse Lane TV. Jesse Lane was taken, so I threw TV at the end because I do a lot of videos.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So a lot of the research that people need to be doing is like given out by the creator. So it would be if you're interested in a Jesse Lane suit, definitely follow him on Instagram, YouTube, and keep up with his NFT, because that's where I'm at right now. I already have my wallets and ready to go, just in that research process, so that I can make sure I buy something that's valuable. I'm not really looking to flip right now. I just want to pick the right ones. So the golden suit sounds awesome.
The golden suit is amazing. Yeah, it's unreal what you're gonna get out of the golden suit. It's the golden ticket.
The golden ticket.
Yeah, and it's just gonna keep getting better. So,
well, I know that we've gone a little bit over our hour here.
yeah.
So,
and I have to be somewhere soon, and I'm not sure if we're wrapping up. Rusty, followed on Instagram and YouTube, my boy. I'll see you around. Hopefully, we can chat in the Suit Club Discord.
In the Suit Club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can join the lobby for free. You can get on the Discord and be like, what's going on here? Like, just see the lobby. The lobby link is at thesuitclub.io. Also in my Instagram, like Linktree, the link in bio kind of thing. You can click it. If you want to find it, you'll be able to find it.
You'll find it. So, all right, Jesse. Well, I'll let you go.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining, even with a migraine. I know that must have been heinous, but
it's a little rough.
I appreciate you giving us the time.
Absolutely. Hopefully you guys got a lot of value out of it.
This was incredible. We really appreciate it. So
good.
Emmanuel, he put his handle in the chat box. You can find it in there.
Oh yeah, it's
at Jesse Lane TV.
Yeah, JESSELANE TV. That's the Instagram. The YouTube is just my name, Jesse Lane. You're welcome, Angel.
Perfect.
You're welcome, Andrew. You're welcome, Emmanuel, Rusty, Kevin, Ron, all these guys. You guys are great. Glad you thought it was valuable.
Yeah.
Ricardo. I'm glad you guys stuck around. Tyrone, this is awesome. It's fun.
Yeah, everyone loved it.
Good. I'm glad. From Nigeria. Oh, wow, that's cool. Trevor.
Yeah, and people will be able, anyone who missed it will be able to see it on the Connect platform. We're going to just put the whole conference in our platform. So
you're welcome for the knowledge and the time. Get in the Suit Club lobby even, man. Just like we'll chat with you there a little bit, and then we'll kick you out after you don't buy a suit. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
No, I'm trying not to. Anyway, my business partner on it is like, we should kick people out after like a week if they're not going to buy. I'm like, no, like give people time. It takes like weeks to figure out for like
nurture
an older contractor.
You have to nurture them.
You have to nurture, like, babe, okay, give them the milk and be like, this is how you buy an NFT. Like now you can buy other NFTs. Like look at Gary Vee. Like you can make lots of money. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Even if you start, just teaching them how to do it, that might just be the thing that they're missing.
Yeah. I've already filmed the video. I'm waiting on my editor to wrap it up. It'll be on my YouTube channel, like how to buy an NFT in 2022. That's
there you go, everyone. See, so make sure to follow him on YouTube so you can figure out how to do that.
Right. Yeah. There's tons of videos too, but like mine will be like really
way better.
Yeah, I hope so. It was rough filming it. It was really rough because like I was on like my office computer versus like my laptop here, and so it's like, you're not signed in. You got to verify your account. All these different things. I'm like, but I got through those things and it made it a good video, hopefully. So, yeah. All right.
Awesome.
Thank you, guys.
Well, thank you, Jesse. You were amazing, and I hope we talk again soon.
Oh, we definitely will. Yeah. All right. Adios.
Adios. If you don't log out, they're just going to keep sending you questions.
Yeah, I'm going to go because I got to be somewhere. Thanks, man.
All right.
Oh, the Mac course. Dude, the Mac course is coming. Eric, yeah. I'm waiting on
Talk about it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I did it real quick. But how to use a Mac for business, because I'm a Mac guy, not a Windows guy. So, like, I'm going to have a course on Teachable, which if you follow me on Instagram and YouTube, like, you'll know about it when it comes out. But hopefully in the next, like, 2, 3, 4 weeks max, I'm just waiting on the editor. Then I just have to, like, just get it up there. Super valuable. It'll rock your world, honestly, like, without a doubt. Like, I put so much valuable information in there, just like, things I've figured out over the last 15 years of using a Mac that just like streamlines it, like boom, That's
such a good idea.
Yeah, I know. I don't even know how Eric.
I'm surprised you didn't keep it. I'm surprised you didn't keep it to the Suit Club.
Oh, keep it to the Suit Club? What do you mean, like only?
Like only NFT holders.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm struggling enough to have these contractors figure out how to get it. So it's like I've had 10 people. I have 2,500 total. So 100 Goldens and 2,400 classics or regulars, whatever you want to call them. And so I need that info. Yeah, you're gonna have it with the Mac course. But yeah, so I've only sold 10. You know, I've had 10 owners
Yeah.
on the Suit Club, but it's only been out for like a week and a half or whatever. So, and I haven't
Yeah.
even made a official YouTube video announcement to my 24,000 subscribers yet. So I will hopefully do that with that NFT video, but also a video just about the Suit Club. Be like, this is what you get specifically, you
Yep.
know? So working on getting that posted as well. So everyone here will be early on the project, which is the way to be.
Yeah. And when it comes out, we'll make sure to share it for you as well.
I
Definitely want to support the cause. So
Yeah, would love to hear about your NFT project too as it gets out. You know, it's exciting.
for sure.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go now.
All right, go, Jesse.
All
Go.
right. See you later. Bye.
See you later. Thank you so much.